All right, we're back in Killstreak. Welcome back to everybody that's joining us. Maybe not now, but in the near future. Last time, we were able to work on the Elytra Travel Agency. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It looks really nice. As well as the Kit newspaper stand. Or Kit's newspaper stand. And I set up the bowman signs. There's Smally. Thanks for joining, Smally. So we've got the bowman sign set up, as well as... Let me take a sip. We also got this wall deleted, but the display set up here. And actually... Nah, that's fine. So that's basically what we got done last time. And this time, we can work on... I was hoping to create the start button, which should be relatively easy. Nothing too complicated. And that's going to be a post office. I felt like you're sending it, you're starting the game. It's kind of similar. This is our color scheme. And I go ahead and disable the data pack. That way, while we're working, we don't have to worry about stuff happening. So, I'm thinking this is our color palette. If we can get... I'm thinking staircases up the front. Do we want that to be smooth stone? I think we do. Yeah. And 4 there, 4 here. Perfect. Maybe we can do something like this. It's not too bad, right? And then our double doors. Now we've got 2 options here. We've got these as well as iron doors. Those don't look very good. I think iron doors are going to be the right call. We'll see. The reason iron doors actually might be the right call is the start mechanic. So when you're working on something, I'm going to hide that. Any type of map, there's one thing that is the hardest decision, specifically for a minigame map. And that's, how do you start the game? Why does that matter so much? Well, you have to think about who's playing your map, who is going to be the most, what's going to be the most friction. So for a group of friends, it's really not a problem for everybody to ready up. And that way you can say yes and not have to know. And that's the way Killstreak worked originally. The problem with that is, if you've got a big group, it doesn't work for everything. It doesn't work for a large group where you have 10 people and 9 people are ready and the last person isn't ready and somebody hits the start button. Guess what happens? That person doesn't get put in the game. So we can add several buttons. First of all, we're going to add a button to automatically force everybody to be ready. But then we're also going to add a button to make it so only one person is allowed to start the game. And that's just generally good game design. So we can break that. We know what we're doing today. I think this is needs to be the foundation that looks nice as a half block. Yeah, I like that. And then we can bring up with the exposed cut. Throw in a couple of these just for texture's sake. There we go. And really a post office doesn't have a bunch of windows. It has a few, but not a bunch. And let me verify that this music's pretty loud. Apologize. There we go. So I'm thinking a couple windows like that. Could we inset the whole front door? Let's try that. And that'll be the general shape of the front of the post office. I think that'll be what we want. Let's go ahead and make it hollow. A very useful solid. And I'm thinking of like a white linoleum as the tile in here. Just like a cheap, kind of crappy, but does diorite work? Let's see. That's not too bad. I like the white and brick. That's always one of my favorite color styles. And let's make these into stairs. Be a little bit better with the contrast here. And these will be open, but they could be locked. Okay. And then here's the next key thing we're going to change. It's red. There we go. And this will just wrap it right around. And we'll kind of box it in just a little bit. White and brick is classic looking, which is fitting for a post office. Exactly. Thank you, Smiley. Okay. Now we did just get rid of all of the brick. But we're going to bring it back looking like this. We're going to have two-dimensional walls. We're going to see how far we can get away with this. This will add a lot of texture. First of all, you get corners, which is interesting enough, but you can also do stuff like this and put in some glass panes. And I feel like just plain white glass panes is what you want for a post office. Okay, I'm not feeling these. So how does this look? This side I like. This side isn't bad. Maybe if we go more like this. Yeah, I think that's better. Plus we're going to round out these windows a little bit. We did have an image. Let me pull it up real quick. Ooh, that really made the game look weird, didn't it? Let's get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, okay. I think one thing that can help us here is a lot more dimension. And we can get that by doing stuff like this. And we can delete our color palette. We know what we're doing. Okay. If you bring these out, maybe we do something like that. I think we need stone bricks here. Okay, let's try none of the above. Hope these are both waxed. Yeah, okay, good. That's better, right? And we can get our sign. Get some more mangrove. How does that look? This needs to be different in the middle. How can we change that up? Here we go. Let's try some of this. Post office. I hear Stardew music? Yes, it's very faint, but it's there. I think that works. And we're not going to call it post, we're going to call it start. Okay. Does that stick out enough? And should it be... I've got an idea. If you're playing, that's kind of bad, isn't it? That's hard to see. I don't know how I feel about this. It's too hard to see. Yeah, I agree. I hate it as well. Okay. Let me pull up my reference image. I wonder, can I share this? Here we go. Let me change OBS so I can show off my reference image. Oh, it went straight to it. Let's stay on Minecraft. Just get a window? Oh, I gotta add a source, of course. Window capture. Okay. Thankfully, I grabbed the right one immediately and didn't grab some random thing. But yeah, here's our reference image. You can see here kind of what I'm going for. I'm doing more shape and not color. So that's what we're focusing on. I do want a mailbox out front. That'll be important. We need just general post office. I like this clock middle section. Basically, we've built to here. We need just random off color, which I think we can make red. And then these we can make out of maybe mangrove. Or we could go back gray or copper, either way. I would probably go copper, because copper is like our quote-unquote gray of this. Then I like this flat awning section. Okay. That'll give us something to work with. Back to Minecraft. We can use a text display. Okay, let's try that. Let's try a text display. First of all, let's bring this back. I like this. Just the general shape of it. And maybe we can get it to cover these signs. Okay. Text. Do we have a text? Okay. We don't want glow. Okay, here we go. It took me a second to find it. It's the very last option. And we keep it the green? That's probably right. Maybe white. And if we're in game, what's my rotation? 180. I think it'll be fine. I think it displays opposite. Okay, let's try this. So what am I looking at? 21.5. Actually, wouldn't it be 22.0? Okay, that's not bad. I was exactly 180 off. I did all the math. Okay, let's try this. And we'll pull it to the sign. How does that look? Should it be white? Yeah, the text before is just too small. Yeah. I think I can make it much bigger. Let's see how much bigger I can make it. Also, we need to move it positive Z by probably... Okay. This is 15. That's 14. So 15.0? Or no. Probably 14.75. And then let's make the height bigger. I think I need to double that as well. It's the same. It's exactly the same. Let me find the size option. Scale. Okay, that's where I went wrong. I think just doubling it would be fine. Which means I don't really need to change the width and height here. Because that's the entity itself. Those actually can be tiny. Of course, that doesn't work. Okay. Okay. How's that look? It's a start office. In terms of size, I think that's perfect. Where it's at is not, but we'll get there. Move it up half a block. And then move it towards the wall by a good chunk more. Okay, we're gonna kill it. Respawn. That's behind the sign now. It's close though. That's too tall. That's perfect though. This might be what's needed. Let's go back to 2.5. Look at that. That's pretty good. Okay, now the border, the background. I think there's a setting for that. Let's see through. That should be false, probably. So I'm going to check background. Set it to 0. I think that'll look better. What color should it be, though? Yeah. Oh, that's what we want. It's got to be like white or light gray, right? Okay, there's green. I think we could lower it a tiny bit, half a block. Okay, let's try gray. Gray looks pretty good. Okay. Let's try white. That looks very crisp. Almost too crisp. Doesn't look real. Which is fine. If this is the only building that looks out of place, that's good, because it's the start building. You like the white the least? I can also do a custom Unicode. It doesn't have to be, not Unicode, a custom hex code. It can be any color. So like if I like the color of this grout, I could make it one of these colors, or close to it. What about like a dark gray though? Nah, that looks really bad. What about gold? I think will look really gross. Yeah, that's pretty bad. We could do dark green, which might look a little bit better. I'm not feeling that either. I think gray's the right call. Something more in that muted color space. Because that kind of pulls everything together. I'll leave it that for now. Let me know. The gray's pretty. Yeah, I think gray's the right call. You could put flowers in these 2 spots here, which is nice. Nice opportunity. I think I like it better with the red starting there. Well, do I? Nah, because then, well... Actually, it does kind of pull it together a little bit more, doesn't it? Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a facade, and you can tell if you stand in this alleyway, which is kind of the point. Let me get my axe and just delete this chunk of the building. But here we can make it a little bit nicer for the post office. I have a little mini garden. And these spots. I don't think that matters. Yeah, you don't see that. That'll work. Which means we can probably, what we want to do is wrap this around. Like so. And then get ourselves a slab. Tie those corners together. That's not too bad. It's almost a gradient from this gray to the red up there. Which isn't intentional, but I think that's why your eyes don't bug out with it too much. To match the windows, we could actually swap to light gray glass. And that'll probably just tie it together just a little bit more. That's not too bad. Okay, and remember what we wanted. We wanted this to be just a tiny bit taller. For no reason other than it looks nice. And we need a wood, or a band-aid of some sort. Could put oak. How does oak look? Normally I'm kind of against oak because just everybody's tired of it. But if you wrap it around like this, you can make it work. Wrap this around as well. And this has to be the same on both sides or else it'll look weird. Well, there's no way to do that though. Because if it was, it would look like... We'll do it this way. Man, that one block makes it feel so much bigger on this side. That's crazy, isn't it? I could always... No, I don't want to do that. I want to keep it even. We're going to have this problem no matter what. I'm thinking andesite roof. It's too steep. It looks stupid. I knew it the second I started placing. I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna work. Okay, color's good. Making too many. Okay, we can skip this. Looked at my reference image. We're doing too much is what the problem is. I think I made that way too tall. Okay. And if it only comes out one block, it's no big deal. It's not too bad looking. And it makes sense that the roof doesn't match in because it's a government building and they never match in. They always look way out of place. I can't place this. There we go. Stairs, you just gotta take your time. And I'm not taking it. Hey, that's actually not too bad. Okay, and then another mistake I made, making it too round. Should just stop. Now, do we do a clock or what do we do? Oh wait, we can do a clock. We can just do a giant one of these. That's so funny, actually. Okay. Okay, we set a clock. We put the yaw as 180. And the scale, we want it to be 4, I guess. And we center it here. So which positive, negative. So it'd be this block, this block. But it would be dot 0. Why does that actually look kind of good? Okay. Item display. Just move it up a block. Is it? It's this block. Why do I like that? It's so jank, but I like it. What do you think? I'll wait for a little bit of input. How do you feel about the clock? I'm gonna leave that until somebody tells me it looks terrible. In terms of colors, it's so out of place. But uh, in terms of the shape of it, I really like it. Maybe we can do something like this. That looks so bulky up there. Gotta lighten it. That looks stupid. I wish there's a quarter block sometimes. And I know that's like not good for the game, but I don't care. Okay, that's not terrible. No, that's bad. I should have just done that. Oh, it's so fat up there, but that's fine. I need some... I need somebody to tell me this looks bad before I leave it and don't care. Do I like the oak? I think I do. Maybe I need more of it. Maybe that's what this should be. That'll help it make it look a little bit less out of place. But that looks very out of place. I help make it look bulkier, less bulky, I mean. It's just, you don't round it off doing it this way. I think that's better, honestly. Technically, it would be this row of blocks. See, that's not terrible. Oh, you know what we could do? We can have this sign turned green when the game's starting. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, we'll at least finish up this building. Stairs and slabs is pretty much all that's over there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wonder if... I think that's better. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Unless... Oh, that's the roundedness I've been looking for. Okay. We can just have like start button and the start button and ready all players. That could even just be a lever over here. Force everybody to be ready. That's not terrible. Let's get some more... What, green? Do something like... That doesn't work. I think you just need solid green or other colors to contrast this building a little bit more. What do we do? Don't want to do actual crops because people are going to stomp them and it's going to just be annoying. Just some tulips. Keep it simple. I'm not against that. This mud will tie it into the... The rooted dirt kind of ties the color scheme in a little bit more too. It's hard to make this slab road work. If we raise it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And this will tie it together, just that last little bit. That's not bad. I like that. Do we want to swap gears and do some programming? Or do we want to continue building? What do we want to do? What am I feeling? I don't know. Either way, we can kind of do whatever we want, it looks like. Let's slap this over. There we go. Feels a little more consistent. I got a call. Let me see if I can figure out who it's from real quick. We're gonna take a minor detour. I don't think it's anybody. They didn't leave a voicemail. Nah, it's just a spam call. Yep. I think we go swap to some programming. Okay, so what we would need to do is make sure whatever we're working on we need the interface. So maybe we'll add a be a brick. I wish I had copper bulbs. Do we want spruce in here? We'll go with spruce. So what settings do we want? Maybe we can skip the lever and just make it better. A mangrove in here? Maybe we can keep it mangrove themed. So funny that turns the whole thing dark. Okay, first things first. We need to section these off without making it feel tiny in here. Just put some trapdoors in. That works. We need a start button. And that can also double as the cancel button once it's already started. Then we'll have an opt-in and opt-out buttons. The way they opt-in and opt-out work is by default, you normally opt in. You join the game and it's like, do you want to play? Drop this item and you can join the queue. But if it's opt-out, then no matter what, you're playing until you drop it, which I think we're going to default to opt-out. And that way we don't have to worry about... Maybe we won't even have this as a setting. The players are just going to play unless they're a spectator. I think that works. And then I want a... I want to be able to lock everything to an admin player. But I want that to be done through functions. So if somebody has server access, they can have priority with all that stuff. And that way it'll be a little bit better. I think so. Okay. So this we don't even have to worry about. It's just lock settings and opt-out is default. And so normally it's opened. So how would it look? Like this? Is that right? No. There, and so if we lock these, then it'll be fine. Yeah, so we want these to be powered by default. I'm gonna do that with just a couple redstone torches down here. Just like that. Can we do that? Does that look weird? That looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay. Let's first of all fill in these gaps. It'll fill in the ceiling too. Okay. Maybe we can fool the inside. Like so. Doing it that way, then we can kind of have a little bit of a defaulted interior, which will be nice. And I say we keep the dark oak on the inside. I think that's the right call. It's nice rich color space. Does this just look like? That looks kind of stupid. Do we want like a popcorn asbestos ceiling in here? Maybe we do. We can get some diorite, just normal diorite on the ceiling. That'd be kind of funny. Very typical for a government building. We'll fill this in just because we can. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Does it look better that way though? Is that visible from the other side? It is? How does it look? Run it all the way up. That's not too bad. So maybe we start cancel here and we lock here. I don't like that though. Because if you're just a normal player, like the average Joe playing with his friends, you'll see that and want to click on it. But then you need a sign to have it balanced. You kind of want to spread out these settings. There we go. We split off the room like so. And then just put decorations in this corner. That'll feel centered enough. We'll do it that way. There we go. And get ourselves a andesite chair. Good old computer. It's heavy. I always get that wrong. A button. I wonder if you put a map in here, what it would look like. Oh, you've returned? Okay. I need your help with something. Smiley. Is this good looking or bad looking? Okay, I want you to brace yourself. It's stupid and funny, but I need your genuine opinion. Okay, you ready? How do you feel about the giant clock? I'll let it soak in. It would keep time. Like if I set it to nighttime, it would work. Or in the roof in general. Does the roof need to just be deleted? Let me know. I need your full opinion. No holding back. It's not allowed. I'm hands off on the keyboard. You can just fully take it in, just soak it all in. Yes, the yellow is kind of bad. Okay, we've got a couple options. We could try to tie it in more. We could get yellow in this way. And it's a little more cartoony looking, but it very blends together more. We can just change that out too. It doesn't have to be a clock. I'll do the first handful of these. Is that better? Kind of works. Kind of ugly, but it's not like atrociously bad. I mean, we do get to watch it turn, which is kind of fun. But you won't even see it. Like, you won't even notice. So it doesn't really matter. You think the oak was better? Okay. You're probably right. I don't know why I typed in oak. I was just looking at it. Get some stone bricks as well as normal andesite. Tie some of those in. I think that... Oh yeah, that just this breaks it up so much. Just a couple kind of deteriorated ones. You ultimately like the clock. The shape of the roof is good. Okay, that's also good to know. A very important aspect to get right. This is helping the roof so much, though. More than I thought it would. Okay. And we can change that out for a different item. Anything. If you think like a compass would make more sense, given it's like the start, like that's where you want to go, so to speak. We could try it. It could be a what's the other compass? Recovery compass. It could be What's associated with starting? Just a giant bow, even? Compass. Okay, we'll try that first. Compass. Oh yeah, you like this trick. That's not bad. Kind of cool, actually. Like, in terms of colors, it looks really nice. In terms of, like, what it actually is it's always just going to be pointing off that direction. But it's not like we were changing the colors or the time anyway, so it's not like it matters much. I didn't even do this side. I think it's like this. You know, the clock is a bit silly, but you actually like it better. Yeah? I might be in the same boat, actually. Now, part of that is because it's framed so well. We could put in slabs here, and that frames it a little bit better. The compass. I know the colors are just kind of whack, but what other items do we have? Put like an ender pearl in there. Be way off color. I don't know. It seems like the clock is... It just feels better. But I don't know. With the clock, it feels like it's part of the build. The other one looks more like a billboard, right? I think that's why. The other one's like, oh yeah, that's just a compass pasted on there. This one's like, oh, this building has a clock. Maybe that's the way I feel that way. And we could try to bring some of the gold in elsewhere. Or bells. Like, that ties it in just a tiny bit more. Yeah, that looks like it's part of the build. Yeah. I think that's why it looks better to me. I agree. These look stupid no matter where you put them. It's like, look at that. It's kind of cool. Does that help? Yeah, it just does look like a schoolhouse. Yeah, that's why I removed them. You're right. Does framing it in with these fences kind of help tie it together? It might. That looks stupid. That's too far. I wonder if we put in... What if we get... Oh, some of these, actually. I'm not sold on that either. Just gold. Just throw some gold up there. It actually makes it look less together. What do you think? Just leave it like it is? This side, I think I'm just gonna... wrap these around to just tie in the detail without making it come into the alleyway too much. This looks kind of dumb. Wait. That's kind of cool. I actually kind of like that. See that band wrap around the whole thing? That adds so much detail too. Makes it kind of feel more blended together. There's the tulip farm. Little pad of flowers, yeah. This is gonna drive somebody crazy. A little bit of extra textures, very nice. Okay, good. We're on the same page there. I didn't want to make this symmetrical because it leans into the alleyway too much, if it was. Plus, symmetry is actually bad. I think that's done. I think you can't do much more than that. That's not gonna work. Okay. Got the little computer. We're gonna have... Can you do commands on these signs? I'm gonna look that up real quick. What are these called? Just wall sign? Hangings. The other ones. Oh, it does have, they do have click events. That's kind of neat. Okay. We're not going to use it, but nice to know. Nice to know we have it. Delete. Let's get some bookshelves. That looks stupid. There we go. And throw some books in here. This is start. And then back here, we're going to have our sign that if you right click it, it says, hey, if you run this function, it'll basically shut down the lobby. So only you as the admin can be in here. And finally, we need just a couple lights. And I think I've got just the idea. Oops, broke the sign. Dang it. Get back here. Oh. I mean, they don't have to be... They don't have to be the end reds. They can be just frog lights. I don't really have one that fits, do we? This is probably closest. There we go. That's not bad. Okay, you come in, start the game. Do we put these torch flowers on the outside? Why would I say to do that? Because it brings that yellow back into the build. Look, you see just a peak of yellow there? There's your other yellow. You get your two highlight. We'll think about it. Definitely think about it. And then finally we get some buttons. That's not gonna work. I mean, if you do it that way, that's not bad. We'll leave it like that. These you can place, no problem. These you can't, but I don't think it matters. My brain is so big. Nah, you're helping me. You get credit too. Those buttons kind of bring in just a tiny bit of that gray back in. It's not bad. I like that. I think we're done. I think we're going to call it here for this building. Unless we have something. Do we have anything to put on top of here? A bookshelf. I know this is like not really a post office, but we'll just say it's not. It's more of just like a government office in general. I don't think I have any ideas to put up here. I could always throw a loom up here and another bookshelf. That's really not too bad. Yeah, I like that. That's fine. The start office. Let's bring a couple more of these just up front. Let's do the same thing we did here. Same with these. You see just the red, but as you climb in, you see the yellow peak up just a little bit. I wish you could do something like this. So you get just a little bit more of that yellow. Or like a half block here. Without it being a full block wide. I almost want these to be different. How would jungle look? The too pink. That's better. I think that's better. Plus it's a little bit higher up. Yeah, you get more of that yellow peeking through. I think that's the call. Okay. We'll call it here, definitely, for this building. I'll clear my inventory. Other than function stuff. And I'm thinking, what if we had it to where the start office turned green when the game was started? That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if that I should make a setting for like something called server mode where you turn it on and if players are just running around in the lobby every like 5 minutes the game starts automatically. But I feel like if you're playing with people you want it to just immediately be in another game. Nah, I think it needs to be manually triggered. Okay, so here's some of our next buildings. Smalley, do we want to set up the rest of this building? Like, get it commands done? Or do we want to jam out to Sonic? No. Or do we want to just build another building? What do you feel like? What's more exciting to you right now? I'm game for whatever. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Could do the grocery store. We could do the jewelry store. The florist. Music shop. Clothing store. The art gallery. That one's gonna be fun. The bakery. Can't be helpful with the commands, but you can be interested. I want you to be interested. Also, we've been doing a lot of building lately. So let's get functions going. The first thing we want to do is throw both of these into the load function. Oh, you vote build. Okay. Never mind. What build? What building do you want to build? I'm sorry, I jumped the gun there. What building sounds the most exciting to you right now? We got the library. Over here, we've got the settings radio tower. Over here, we've got whatever you want it to be. The pub. Waterworks facility, which actually will basically just connect down here into the sewer that Jem was building. The mattress store, which has parkour in it. Radio tower? Okay. Radio tower. Now my first instinct is bricks, because like these older 50s-ish buildings, it's always bricks in my mind. So we're gonna have to work around not using bricks. What block do we want the key thing? Anything's more interesting than you doing it. Fair enough. We've been kind of on a roll with building, so whatever we want. How do we want to build this? It's gonna be a radio tower. And we can do it two ways. We can do a section that's like only like this big, and then a tower on top, which I think would be more fun. Or we could just do like a full tower, or like a full building, then just a little pokey boy. A tiny little antenna, which would be kind of funny too. But we gotta figure out a color palette. Big tower. Yeah. The big radio tower. I like that. Rather than the big building. Or do you mean the big there's big antenna and then big building. It's not very clear what is being meant. Unless you say it explicitly that way. I'm glad you always have fun with a big tower. That's good to know. We could go more basalt, like a darker color. Big antenna. Okay, thank you. Now you're gonna beep 30 seconds behind me talking about that, and you're gonna be thinking you answered my question 30 seconds ago. That's okay. That's part of streaming. I don't like Blackstone. It's just too dark for the main feature. For the corners, the edges, I think it's perfect. But what's the main color? Could do like a dark prismarine and something like that. That's kind of cool. If we do this for the main and then pull the Blackstone in, that's not bad. It is right next to this blue building though, so I probably shouldn't do that. So, I'm trying to think, what colors do we have? I've had a lot of red so far. Got yellow. More purple. What color do we want? It's bad as we lose a lot of these colors because that's this. So unless we transition, like probably at least here, we lose most of it. Let's delete most of the building first. That'll save us some brainstorming. Okay. Okay, I'm just curious. I'm not going to use this, but I'm just... How do these colors look together? Very dark. These actually go pretty well together, don't they? I like it. That's pretty good. Could go with this. Crimson. And the nether bricks. Let's try that. Let's see how that goes. We have a lot of color, plus the cherry is kind of nice. Let's see how this goes. Because it's just a small building. If it's a little odd in terms of color and everything, you can deal with that. It's certainly odd. I think we got to keep it away from this. This looks very fascinating. We know this is a settings building. I'm gonna delete the majority of this building. Okay. And for now, we're just gonna pull the sidewalk up so I don't keep falling off. I'm gonna generate an AI image for this radio tower. Hopefully it doesn't just build a tower, which I mean is useful, but not. Do that? It was purple. Oh, it's because of this, isn't it? Okay. They do that every like 60 minutes. 60, yeah, every minute or so. 60 seconds. Okay, let's look at the images. Up over. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. So we've got this radio tower. I like the lighthouse colors on it. These all look kind of the same. Very structural. This one's got kind of cool pillars. I don't know what this is up here. And then this is my favorite. It's got like a ride on the top of it. We go back to the game. None of these really have what I'm looking for. There we go. But I know this is all kind of stripey. This is darker. A little bit. Okay, let's look at get these, the chiseled. We do have the red, but which is an option, but not the direction I want to go. But nether wart or nether blocks are the only ones that have both walls and fences. So with that power, you can do a lot. Oh, and you can alternate them? I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't think you can add any detail with these. Yeah, that just is a face. Let me see what else, what other colors we can pull out that are close but not the same as these. You might be able to do something with this. Maybe something with this. Our options are too limited. Like, we do have signs. Okay, what colors do we have here? It's like a brown and blue. We need something that's more warm colored. And gray. What about yellow? What do we have for yellows? Just those, right? I mean, the sandstone's pretty yellow. Pretty much red and gray are like our only colors. We could just do a boring gray one. Let's try that. Let's go deep slate. What if we turn the deep slate on its side and did it this texture? Z? Oh, probably Y. Was it Z? No, X. Okay. We can make this work, right? I don't think we can make purple work. It's just not enough options. And they're too far apart. You'd have to have a lot of help from some other block. And like we could make it deep slate. Like we could do something like this. You know, tie purple in that way. But if you put let's say you put the nether brick with what was the other block? Mangrove? No. What's the opposite of mangrove? Crimson. You put these next to each other. They just stick out too much, right? Or maybe I'm just bad with colors. Like you could make it work. They're in the same general color space, but there's just not enough to tie these together without, like if you were to mix up the blocks a little bit, it would look like this, you know? And you're just getting shape, like letters and whatnot every single time because you just see too well. If you did a letter between these two, they're so similar it doesn't matter. We could make these two work, though. Can you make a gear with... Let's typed in gear. Yeah, that's gonna help. Can we make a gear with these items? That right? Yeah. Gear? That's actually not terrible. I put it. Is there such thing? Okay, we could put a Blackstone button in it. You could call it gear radio. Maybe gears radio. That way we can say it with two banners, two sets of banners. Let's get the other cobble deep slate. Does this... And it gives a little bit of a sci-fi, like, kind of techie look. Guess I pasted what here? There we go. That could be worse. That could be a lot worse. We can tie in. Just a little bit of this. Like so. Okay. Let's get a... steal this. Should be a rotation here. Here we go. It should just be 90 or negative 90. You put backslash ins in this? You cannot. That's kind of annoying. A little bit easier to the center at least. I mean, that's not terrible. And then you have imagine a big radio tower above. And keep in mind, you're going to be spawning here. You're only going to see the edge of this. It's not going to be as important that it looks amazing. I still want it to look fairly good, but not... It's not absolutely required. Okay, we can shrink this back here. 2 blocks. I did have bricks, so I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I think I've got, let me see if I've got in my power, is it power tools? What's the name of this? You can't see that. Okay. I've got the hex of that. So we can actually change the color. To be the same. Display. Just kill both of them. Yeah, that's kind of cool. We'll have to imagine maybe like white banners behind for now. I want to make these bigger and actually maybe we can put like a whiter. We use like white concrete powder. It's not terrible. Okay, what if we make it like massive? This says you can add a \n for the text. I don't think it can. I don't know if that works. Let me see. Should just be line width. Actually, it doesn't need to be in quotes. What if we set it to 5? Okay, that's not right. That's closer. Okay, we're cooking. And then just move it down a block. Then shrink it? How does that look? Is that stupid? I think it's kind of cool, right? What if we make it all caps? And maybe if we move it down another half block. Nah. The sign is so funky. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's supposed to be 25.0. Maybe it's the same case we had earlier where it's actually between the two sizes and I just keep bouncing it. Okay, it's a good thing. Good. If I make this closer to the wall. Positive X. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad. I think it's not too weird. Would it be better if I pulled it out? That might be better. I think it's supposed to be 14, right? That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that's better. Now, alternatively, I could swap up the color to be something a little bit brighter. Or another option, prink, if I get pink glass. I mean, that's kind of cool already because there's two of them in there. We could get almost a... anyway, I'll have to add that back. That's kind of cool. I have to raise it up a little bit. Another option is panes. You get a lot of fighting though this way. If you made these instead of white, made this pink, like so. And then put white somewhere behind here that wouldn't attach. So like, maybe quartz stairs. It attaches though now. Walls would attach. There you go, you just come back an extra block. I think this is the best case. And then put better, maybe not sea lanterns, is it pearlescent? It's just a hair cyberpunky, you know, kind of cool. Or you could make this magenta even. Problem is if you make it too similar, it'll just blend in and you won't see it. I think down here, if this is magenta, that'd be good. What floor? Done a few white floors. I almost want to do a pink floor. Then that kind of clashes. Let's figure one node at least. It's not necessarily clashes, but... Are these the same? I think so. Okay. And this place could be tiny. The settings we need are... What are they? Make these stairs. So the main setting is which game mode, and then the setting for that game mode. That's basically it. Other than that, there's no other settings right now, which is fine. And there's no reason to change all of that. Should be good. Should be good. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. A little bit stripey here. Let's break that up. And so we got to find a way to join these walls so that neither of them look too crazy. I think this is the right call. It just looks so much better. Yeah, that'll be good. And we can load this wall up with equipment, so you won't even notice it. Okay, the key settings we want to put here, here, and here. Or rather, there and there. Game mode. Setting. Actually, we could do it here. Game modes. Game modes, settings. I guess the walls would just be the same. I'll just make cobble deep slate for now. We can texture it always later. Okay. So the key, like, part of this building is the radio tower platform anyways. Which we can just make a platform like so. Okay. So we've got stone. We've got iron bars. And iron. We've got chains. Oh, those show up now? That's kind of cool. I'm thinking we should just stick to iron. Let's just bring these out. What am I doing? Those are not right. Okay. Okay, let's just make one side and duplicate it. That would leave this one here. This is when you start getting into tying them all together. Like so. There's 4. Okay. You're cross bracing in, that's what that is. And then here it'd be kind of similar. Get those 4 in. This is gonna look terrible. That's okay. We'll let it happen. I forgot about this. That's okay. Believe in yourself, like over. Okay. We can make this work. I think the main thing to make it work is to just delete the iron blocks. Not chain. Is that better or worse? I think if I stand up here and do it, it'll be pretty good, actually. Maybe here too. I think these are okay. They look kind of nice being beefed up. Yeah, it's just too bulky as with iron blocks. I think the trick is finding the balance between. Uh-oh. Okay, how can I? I love block states. Okay. Tie in these corners. Okay. Is this almost passable? I think I shouldn't have changed these. Start tying stuff more, making it more solid in that way. I think this just needs to be the same all the way around. The height seems to do a lot for it. Also these. Wait. That's kind of cooking, actually. You love it? Okay. That makes me feel a lot better. Watch this cool trick. Gotta love that, right? And then we want This is actually more of a reception antenna than a... But don't tell anybody that. Really, there would be like terracotta or insulators. Not terracotta, but it would... whatever they use to insulate. This is what it would look... Actually, it'd be a big pillar, and it would be sitting on the disc. It's really fascinating the way it works. Just huge ceramic disc. That's what the word I'm looking for. That's non-transferable. So you have 50,000 watts being sent out wirelessly. And that's why signals can go so far. Kind of spooky. You ever seen videos of somebody like try to grill leaves on it? It's a little crazy. Also, my backdrop for my sign got deleted. Kind of sad. I really don't like this. That's better. You have seen that? Yeah. Amazing how much wattage goes into something simple like radio. What do you think? Do we keep it? Do we need anything more to it? I know what we can add. Rivets. You can say that's riveting. There you go. That's really held in. Do we even want the iron bars? Thinking that, or the iron blocks. Thinking if we use like... Not tough. Maybe andesite? That's kind of the more of the color scheme, isn't it? That'll look better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. You know, we can put at the top of this. Can't have airplanes hitting it. That's not good. That's kind of neat. And now, gotta make sure this doesn't look terrible. What goes below that? Is that the normal blue terracotta? Okay. I should hide people in here. Like Patreons and whatnot. Or Patreon. I only have like... I've had like 3. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't expect anybody to actually donate. I don't do enough. Money's too hard to come by to be throwing it at some guy playing Minecraft. Yo, let's get some stairs going in here. Can you like rotate these? That's kind of cool. I think that'll work. Yeah. Take it in just a little bit. That's kind of cool looking. It's okay, it's out of place. But you're standing here. It kind of blends in. It being darker for the most part really blends it in. I wonder, why didn't I do this? So much better. And this will look better if we put stuff behind it and whatnot. We can have this be the mountain. Have it kind of fold into these buildings, however it makes sense. That way we can kind of blend things together. And that way it'll be pretty nice. When I do the terraforming, I better make a copy though. Does need a transformer. Probably coming from this building. That'd be kind of neat. You can make these windows for like which setting you're changing. Game mode here, probably the setting over here. I think that makes sense. So map and settings, play, and then the average player would walk down the street going this way. I think that works out. And we just hit the 2.5 hour mark. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. That's a good stopping point. We got 2 more buildings built, and they're very interesting buildings. I like them. Thank you for joining, Smally. Seems like you were the only one here today, which is fine. I just can't expect everybody to just always be here, especially on a Monday. So I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. And for those that watch the VOD later, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one.